Hi all, today I am going to demonstrate the methods of acquiring memory dump from a Linux computer locally and remotely. Here I have a Ubuntu 20.04 virtual machine with kernel 5.4.0.
There are different applications out there to acquire memory dump from Linux computer. Today I'm using Linux Memory Extractor Tool,
Also known as
LiME, which is a loadable kernel module. Its source code is freely available under the GitHub 50416 lab. For today's lab, we need to have three applications or tools, which are Git version controlling system, GCC, GNU compiler collection, make executable builder. So let's start with installing these dependencies. I'm using sudo apt-get install git gcc make. It will take a couple of minutes, so let's wait until it completes. It's already completed. Remind, this memory acquisition process requires super user privileges, so let me become the super user here. So currently I'm inside the root directory. Let's proceed with setting up LiME. First, you need to clone the LiME repository into your local machine. For that, I'm using git clone command. It will take a couple of seconds. So now we have the local copy of the LiME source code. Let me move on to the LiME directory. So let's go to the source directory. It contains set of files. Let me compile the LiME source code. We can compile the LiME with make command. So it's compiled. Let me show you the module file. Here you can see I have successfully completed the LiME module, and here we have the kernel module. Let's load the module into the kernel and dump the memory. As per the LiME documentation, it requires path and the format parameters to dump the memory. Let me show you the documentation. Here it says you need to have a path variable and also the format variable. Make sure to use absolute path as the destination file path when you run the LiME module. To load this module into the kernel, I'm using insmod command, and the module name.
inside the double quotation path equals /memory.tmp format equals raw. Let's wait until it completes.
So let's move on to the home directory. As you can see here, the memory.dmp file has created. Let's check the size of this file. It is 2 GB
Which is same as my
physical memory. There's another important factor that you need to keep in mind. You can't take memory dumps
once you load.
the kernel module into the kernel. If you need to take another memory dump, you have to unload the previously loaded module. Let's try it out.
So let's run the lsmod command and filter the LiME using grep.
So as you can see here, LiME is loaded into the kernel.
Let's remove the loaded module using rmmod utility.
As you can see here, I was able to successfully
unload the module from the kernel.
So let's move on to the our second practical, which is dumping
Memory into a
remote computer. So let me split my screen. So you can think of the lower pane of my screen as a remote computer and the upper plane as the local computer. So let's try to dump the memory into a remote machine. Let's move on to the LiME source directory once again.
let's run the ins module command. Here I am providing TCP colon port number 443 with raw format.
Let me run this command. It will wait for remote computer to connect to the port number 443. Let's move on to the other pane and try out connecting to the port 443. I'm redirecting the memory dump into the memory1.dmp file. It will take a couple of minutes. Let's wait. As you can see here, command execution completed. Let me stop the netcat connection.
As you can see here, now you have the 2 GB file which contains the physical memory of the device. So it's the end of the practical. Now you know how to conduct an memory acquisition remotely and locally from a Linux computer. Thank you.